What's up, Flannelverse? I am at 98 Best Ball Mania drafts so far this year, and I happen to know that Pat from the Dog Pound is at 99, gonna stream his 100th tomorrow. I know that Pete Overzet, from what I heard on Monday, was at 98 or 99, gonna get to 100 soon. So I thought I got to beat those guys to it. I got to be the first to 100 Best Ball Mania to stream my 100th Best Ball Mania draft. So that is the goal tonight. Going to be doing two drafts. This is kind of impromptu. I was thinking about doing it earlier this afternoon, ran out of time. Got to streaming my 17th episode of the Playing for Keeps podcast earlier with Mike Leone. That was a lot of fun for me to talk to Mike. First time ever doing any kind of content with Leone. So that was awesome to get to talk to him for a while, but got me excited to stream. I'm in the mood for streaming. So figured might as well jump into one more. I also have access to the legendary upside kick for the first time tonight. And what do you know? I have a guest tonight. This is literally I entered the stream, saw a hello from Tyler, and was like, "There's always a chance that Tyler's free. He's a night owl, so I thought might as well send Tyler a link." And on literally zero notice, Tyler is here with us. I'm gonna bring him on. Tyler, how you doing tonight?
We are busy. We are good. Appreciate the invite. Fuck it. Let's rip one.
Love it. So this is number 99 right here. I'm going to be doing
Oh.
drafts here. You are, of course, welcome to stay for the 100th. I know you have a job, so might get kind of late for you.
Yeah,
Uh,
tomorrow and Friday are busy as hell, so probably won't be able to do that. But one of these days, work is going to calm down and I can be more of a night owl.
Hell yeah. Well, I gave you also zero notice on this stream, so Tyler will join us for as long as Tyler likes, and we'll jump in right now. I got to get used to because I'm using the Sidekick. I'm doing this in uh, Mozilla Firefox instead of Chrome, which is throwing me off. I'm like, where is my window here? All right, we're jumping in. We got the Sidekick going, and we're most of the way filled. Tyler, you doing anything with the Ayuk stuff?
Yeah, I'm trying to push him as far as I can and build some Pittsburgh stuff since that seems really, really strong. Although, if there was a deal done, I'm like, how the hell are we not already like through the process? And to me, that just screams Pittsburgh still isn't giving San Francisco what they want, and
It's weird.
which makes me think like San Francisco has no need to like rush the trade, and if they don't get what they want, then they don't have to do it. And with injuries piling up, I'm kind of just like, why don't they just call his bluff, hang on to him? He's not sitting out this season. You franchise tag him, you tag and trade next year, and you just mulligan you fucking up this past draft cycle, not getting a first for him, you know? So
Yeah, it's a weird situation where like you're hearing one thing kind of instinctively, it doesn't totally make a lot of sense. I have not been drafting much Pittsburgh. So are you also going after the Fields thing?
Well, yeah. So like they know it. So like Fields right now seems like he's a better bet to be able to start and maybe grab some stuff. You know, Russ with a calf isn't great at his age. We saw that hamper Burrow last year, and then similarly like they have like they're like the same player, but Russ has more rushing juice. Fields has more rushing juice. Russ a little bit better of a passer, but in the end of the day, they're like Spider-Man pointing meme. So if Fields is a better chance to start early, I like that. I like his ability to contribute and then just be like, fuck it, he's our guy. You know, he's the only option for next year unless we just punt the position all the way. So it's like I was trying to do a little catch up with Pickens, just being like, you know what, I've been stubborn with the ADP. Let me just take some. And now this whole fucking
Right.
Ayuk shit. So I'm like, fuck it. Then I will take Ayuk in the third, and either I get an awesome San Francisco discount or I'm comfortable with him there, and I will just keep pushing down. Uh, what do you call it?
Pickens or
Yeah, because then Pickens becomes like what arbitrage Christian Watson, like
yeah,
in a way. So
I
I'm
don't
like,
know.
yeah, like their profiles are very similar, right? Like maybe Pickens showed better target earning potential, but is he going to have that
With Ayuk
against
there, probably not.
Ayuk?
No.
Right, probably not. And then it's like we know that like we know Pickens was not likely to see 120 plus targets this season. So it's like he's definitely not seeing that with Ayuk. So now it's like he does feel like fancy Watson, who's just been healthier. And then I'm like, I'll mix him in around the rookies if they're bumpy and injured, but then I like those players for upside later in the season. So it's all convoluted. I wish they would just figure it the fuck out so I could figure out what I want, but also the 5 hole is making me laugh. So it's good. Good night.
Yep, it is. It is a good night. Good to see you all here. We're coming on our pick, so I guess I should get this before we. All right. So what do we do here with Puka is the top of the rankings. I don't know. I see Sam in chat. I don't know what Sam thinks of Puka at this point. Do we
I'm
just do
slamming
it? Do you want to do something different? You say you're slamming him?
Oh yeah,
All right. I'm good with it. I'm good taking Puka.
he's fine. Burst
Yeah,
is
he
sack.
should be back. Yep.
He might be back next week. Like he's fine.
Do we just do Marvin Harrison, or do you like something else better? Oh, he is the top by the using the sidekick tool here. This is the leg up rankings, so I don't think Marvin Harrison is the top of their rankings necessarily, but because of the correlation, he's pushed up as the top suggestion by the sidekick. Do you like the pick, Tyler? Do you want to do something different for combinatorial reasons?
I love Puka Marv. I was gonna maybe suggest Debo to get a little unique
but he
poo,
went.
but it seems like Debo is like going at the turn now.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy taking what is our generation's likely CeeDee Lamb, Amon Ra. I'm give it to me. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to get this combo at the turn every time. Very nice. I see Mr. Mister is in this draft with us. He is, and I keep on going to the wrong spot. Mr. Mister is here. TM Longer, he is the 8-hole. We of course have Sam Olson in the 12-hole here. Anybody else you recognize in this draft with us? I don't think so.
Say the 5-hole name, Neil.
Shrimp Fried Pussy. Of course, we all know Shrimp Fried Pussy. Long time underdog drafter. I've been trying to figure out. No, I haven't put any effort into it, but I'm very curious who the user is who did best ball brunch. I'd love to. I know Pete knows. He wouldn't. He did not tell me. I'm very curious. Maybe that's Shrimp Fried Pussy.
You want to know who the user is?
Yeah. Do you know?
Yeah. Hold on.
Is it somebody I would know?
No.
Okay.
He's still a member of the community. He's a member of Pete's stuff. He DM'd me Amber's information. Amber's the actress. Hold on. I'm not saying that. I will go get his username though, if you want it.
Wait, he sent you the actress from the adult film. He sent you her information.
Yeah, she has a Twitter account. She ended up finding out about. She found Pete's. Maybe you don't know this. She found Pete's tweet, replied to it. She didn't think people would find it funny. And so she was very pleased to find out that people found it hilarious. People like me, maybe not people like you.
I found it hilarious. I thought it was.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a moment for the whole community.
I mean, I watched.
Being made.
Jesus Christ, wrong button. I watched the whole thing. It was hilarious.
I did not. I just.
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying. So, like, the jokes in there were hilarious, but she didn't think people would find it funny. So she was glad people found it funny, and she was down to like do best ball after dark, best ball breakfast.
No way. I didn't hear that. Okay,
yep, he is a
That's
coward.
He didn't do it. He didn't want to do it.
I don't think he's bothered asking.
Okay.
All right, but let me get. I gotta go back in my Wayback Machine. Let's see.
Here, I'm going to respond to
answer some
good
questions.
to see you, Steven. It's been a minute. I am going to disagree with Peppertoni says Pickens is ass. Thoughts? I don't think Pickens is ass. I think Pickens is actually a good NFL receiver. Doesn't like create a lot of separation is at least my watching him. He does not seem to create a lot of separation. I believe the stats back that up, but definitely can moss some people. Gibbs Debo is this year's CD ARSP. I could see that. Stretch the sidekick box out. All right, let me see if I can do that.
If you want him to stretch something out, you got to pay for that.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
Like so. Wait. And then move it a little bit, maybe.
So many tweets. Search function wasn't working.
Tyler, I got to know why he was connecting you with this young lady.
Do you not know my lore?
I mean, I know you are a sex fiend, a degenerate. I know that much.
So does that answer
No,
your question?
okay. Just
I am Mathology and I are the quintessential quote unquote horny guys. So and I proudly talked about finding it funny and watching it. So he decided
nice.
he felt comfortable tweeting me about
We
it.
are on the clock, so I just want to throw that out there.
Let's do
The
it.
top suggestion would be Tank Dell, Sam Laporta, Travis Kelsey, Josh Allen.
Tank or Cooper, it would be my lean. Let's go Tank.
All right, we will go Tank. Oh,
Look at you and your fancy machine.
did I get it? This is I'm thrown off a little bit.
Boomer hours.
There we go. I got him. I
it.
got him.
Nice.
Couldn't see it.
Now the question here is going to be: do we want to do McBride and build out the Arizona thing, or do we want to take a different player?
That is the question. I often do the McBride thing. I think it's actually not that many people are doing it. I don't think. I haven't seen a lot of people doing the double stack.
And I'm good with it.
It's harder when both Laporta and Kelsey are both still there.
I mean, my thoughts here are McBride for the stack, or we do Pacheco for the likely smash Kansas City running back, or we go Cooper. Those are my thoughts.
All right. I am going to let's do the double stack. See if we can push.
I love I really do think Arizona is going to be likely a fuck. Oh well, I'll take the value. Sorry, I was finishing up a flock draft and eating ice cream when you hit me up. So here we are. But I don't multitask well. But yeah, no, I like the double stack. I think that Cardinals have a chance to be a top 12 offense. Their defense is looking pretty damn shaky.
Yep.
They just lost a pass rusher, so I like their ability to be in shootouts, and consolidating the offense is very fun. That game script should be fun. So yeah, I'm big into it. Want plenty of that.
This is funny. Neil shakes computer monitor. Comply. I mean, come on.
That's a good one.
I'm not that much of a boomer. I'm doing my best. All right. I learned. So I had trouble getting the Sidekick working the other night. I learned after the fact that's because of a different plugin that I had still going that I was not actively using, but it was still there and it was causing issues with my Underdog. So I had to disable a secondary plugin to be able to get the Sidekick to work, or to get Underdog. Not even the Sidekick, just to get Underdog to not spaz out on me.
Gotcha.
Is Sam Olsen cooking? I hadn't noticed. By the way, a lot of Minnesotans in here. GA, is that a wild? That is a wild. I didn't know GA was from Minnesota. I assume from Minnesota. The goose says, is Santee? I don't even think I know is Santee, Minnesota. You have to take advantage of the flock. Were you drafting against the flock? Is that what's going on?
No, so he released his second community tournament. So it's the Flock Community Contest 2.
Okay.
$10 entry, 3 entry max, 10K to first. I think it's 1 of 12, 1 of 2, 1 of 2, 100-person final. And I'm now kind of burning an entry because I have auto draft half of it. What's up, Sack? How's it going, man? Haven't seen you in a live chat in a minute.
What's up, Sack? I thought about reaching out to Sack since he is one of the engineers of the Sidekick. I thought about reaching out, but I thought Sack is not a night owl for some reason. I figured I'm not going to invite anybody until I see them here.
The Sacks I know are pretty active at night.
Okay. Yeah, that's funny. That's good.
You know a joke is good when they say it is funny. Let's see. God damn it. Where is this fucking roster? It's killing me not to find it. Let's see.
Sack, I will be looking for a guest for my final draft. This is number 99 for my 100th draft. So if you feel like coming on, telling me about the Sidekick, you would be welcome. Keenan Allen would be the suggestion here. Xavier Worthy, Chris Godwin, Joe Mixon, Romo Dunze. Anybody we like?
Are we on the clock?
We are on the clock.
I'm good with Keenan.
Yeah, Keenan I like Keenan just fine.
Yeah. I'm trying to catch up on Caleb stacks.
Yeah.
That has been my down the stretch.
Super easy on DraftKings. Like you can just get it all day. It feels like on DraftKings, all the Bears guys go a little bit too late.
Yeah, I get so much love, Jaden Daniels, and then I hit the running backs in that pocket so much that I either try to push Caleb around and he doesn't come back, or I just don't get it set up that well. Because I'm not the biggest Keenan fan, and then I don't love DJ Moore compared to some of those other players. So then I just end up with like a Rome skinny stack, which I'm fine with. But then you've got the Moore drafter or the Keenan drafter there to snipe.
So Worthy, Mixon are the suggestions. We do have Stroud stack, but this is a little early for Stroud now.
You know what, Neil? Let's do your wet dream. Let's set up 2 double stacks for 2 quarterbacks, and ideally we get both. How's that?
Love it. That is my wet dream.
Let's make Neil wet. Make Neil wet again.
It worked. I can confirm. I'm wet.
Neil is soaking wet. Damn it. I tweet too much, Neil. This is hard to find. I know his YouTube name off the top of my head. Let's see. But no, yeah, I like this a lot.
Oh no, Zach shaved his head. Sorry.
Whoa. Shaved sack, buddy. Congrats on the sacks. Let's see. Why did you shave your head?
Why, when you have hair, would you shave your head? I can understand once you get a certain age, you start losing that hair, you got to shave it. But why, Sack? Why?
Will I ever have a wet hot tub? Do you have a dry hot tub, Jeremy? I mean, dude, I'm not opposed to doing hot tub streams. The problem is y'all are not the demographic for that. I know this because none of you cowards have subbed to my OnlyFans. And
I didn't with my name attached to it. I use my burner, obviously.
Obviously. Neil, I checked. I have 1 follower. It's not you. Anyway, or your burner.
You don't actually do you actually have an OnlyFans?
Yes. Do you want to see
incredible. It? Yeah.
All right. There's nothing explicit on there yet. To be fair, the whole point was to make it as a bit, and then
I assumed,
and then use it for like football. Be like one of the few like fantasy accounts that like runs it through it. And then here's the thing. My genius thing was it's a dude's excuses to have OnlyFans charges, and they tell their girlfriends, "Look, I know it sounds crazy, but I just subbed to this weirdo dude that like roasts my league mates and gives me trade information and goes live, and then they get to pay for whatever else they want to. No judgment from me. Under the guise of my account. So I will share.
Not at all uncomfortable. I'm loving it. This is fantastic.
This is all just getting ready for tomorrow's gauntlet.
By the way, Tyler, going on the randomizer tomorrow. That is that I'm looking forward to that. I think tomorrow I'm taking the entire day off streaming just to enjoy all the other streams out there. So looking forward to the randomizer.
I am honored to be going. Let me see.
This is the question. Will we see Tyler's OnlyFans on the randomizer tomorrow?
Only if one of you cowards put it in as a prompt and then it gets picked. But yeah, here you go. I'm sharing it if you want to present it.
All right. Yeah, we have a minute here. Here is Tyler's. Wait.
This is my OnlyFans.
Here. That is fantastic. Look at that guy.
I'm emo reverse cowboy, and this was legitimize me.
I am so glad that we did this on a late night stream because man, we were going to get some new followers. The algo is going to send people right to the Flannelverse to check out Tyler in his thong.
That's a Speedo. It says juicy, and on the backside it says irresistible. But yeah, I don't know what to do with it. This comic about take my cock. Yeah. Anyway, so that's my OnlyFans. Extra Fabulous is a fantastic account. I'm glad Jeremy knows good shit.
But every time, real life friends, by the way, Jeremy and Gordinko are both my real, probably together doing a game night or something.
Oh hell yeah,
maybe.
What do y'all play?
They play like different games all the time. Too complex for me. Games that I'm like, I don't really feel like learning a game. Typically.
Oh, like those fucking like European economics.
Yeah. Oh, they love the map games. They're obsessed with like map games. I'm like, I am so bored even thinking about playing this game. All right, we are on the clock. Kyler's suggestion. I think we just go Kyler.
Slam.
I don't think Sam would take him from us, but I think we just do it anyway.
Yeah, Sam wouldn't, but like, who do we really want to push him around? I am cool with all of these running backs. I don't care.
I can feel Sack in the comments being like, I want to play map games.
I could
Yeah.
feel Sack going like, I wish I shaved before I took that picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm assuming you're comfortable pushing Caleb closer to ADP.
Yeah, absolutely.
So which running backs are you feeling juiced up for here?
I think I prefer not Ramondre because I like so many running backs with week 14 buys
And
later.
let's be a little leg up. Well, okay, we can do Addison or we can do Warren. I'm cool with Warren.
I'd say Warren.
Okay, yeah.
Since we're using the leg up tool, let's pay ode to leg up by drafting Jalen Warren.
Yeah, let's just give third leg a nice little milking. Yeah, I'm good with it. Although it just doesn't seem like Addison's likely to be suspended this year. So at that ADP, I'm windmilling it in.
You saw that he's not likely. I thought it was like likely to be 2 games instead of 3.
The last update from fantasy lawyer Drew was that with the way the timelines work out, with like a late October case and the delays and the appeals that can happen, that in his experience of doing 20 plus years of law, it's likely to just be bumped out towards the end of the year, which bumps it into next year. So he's kind of shifted. In his professional opinion, he'd be a little surprised if it got settled this year. Apparently, the only way they would do that is if it didn't get delayed in the court system and he and his team wanted to settle it now. Even then, it's a misdemeanor, and he may not like really. And even then, he might be able to kind of like appeal and get no punishment, which then the NFL wouldn't do anything about it. So yeah, I mean, at this ADP, if he misses 2 games, it's totally fine anyway.
Yep, as long as it's not playoffs.
Well, and even that would be very unusual, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
All right.
Get Shrek Raw. Can't wait for the Jalen Warren slappies to be dead wrong about Warren. I'm one of those Jalen Warren slappies and acknowledge the possibility. I'm not like a Pat level Jalen Warren slappy, but I think he's a good pick.
Well, I mean, he's been very good. He ate into a lot of Najee's workload, and what else? And like the coaching staff's the same minus the offensive coordinator, who is a good to great. I'm gonna take Theo Johnson here. All right, we're done with that plot contest. I mean, the rushing game is going to be very good. They beefed up the offensive line. These quarterbacks are going to hide Jalen Warren, more of the explosive pass catcher. Both of these guys, especially Russ, tend to pepper the running backs with targets. The Jalen Warren slappies can be wrong about him like taking over, and he can still smash at ADP just given how much they're going to run, how efficient they can be running, and given his outs, both rushing and receiving. And I'm cool making that bet alongside guys like Ramondre, who probably are okay, but like the team could be bad, the line could be bad, and then you don't know like is he truly locked in for a full workdown?
All right, so we're on the clock. It is not suggesting Caleb Williams here. I might still be inclined to go Caleb or go Tyler Lockett and then Caleb.
Does the 12 hole have? They don't have any bears, right? I don't see any bears. They don't have any bears.
Yep.
Then let's take Pollard here. I think let's take Pollard and trust that we're minding our P's and Q's here in the little hole. Because I like Pollard here a little after ADP. Going after a backfield, it's going to see a lot of rushing and receiving. Maybe he inches Tajay out as the goal line guy. Who knows? But I like taking a shot there when we get a little ADP discount. Because there's a chance that Tajay's like lack of a second ACL does become an issue at some point in the season.
Right.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
Interesting. So we have Corum here because of the week 17. Of course, we've got the double stack plus Puka Nacua. So adding Corum onto that double stack is actually ranked ahead of Caleb. I would be inclined to override that. Do you agree? Override for Caleb?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, double stacked quarterback versus a running back correlation. I'm surprised it's especially given.
I am too. I'm
especially given ADP. I'm surprised that that's the top suggestion because I would imagine that 2 pass catchers, especially given the ADPs of our pass catchers, It's not slamming that in the go, but there you go. What dream accomplished? 2 double stacked quarterbacks and most people's preferred running backs in the running back glory hole trademark.
Yeah, we are crushing it. I'm feeling good about this draft. Glad to close out the top 100 strong. This one again being number 99. Now Jeremy asked, now that we are closer to the season, who should I be stacking? Whoever you drafted.
Good teams.
Whichever good receiver you took, you should be stacking them, I'd say. Yeah. I mean, I'm loving Cardinal stacks in general. That's one that I always recommend.
Oh yeah.
I think the Niners. I think you're right. Good teams. The Chiefs, a lot of good teams.
Yes. Oh, finally, fucking found it. Here we go. Oh, he cut off the username. Hold on. But I can reverse search this with BBMDMD. Man, I'm on this. I love when a Tyler in the chat says this is a sexy team because I also agree this is a sexy team.
All Tylers agree this is a sexy team.
You heard it here first, folks. Okay, let's see. His combos were Chubb.
This makes sense. Birdog says when you have Murray, quarterback value is docked because it's thinking like we're spending too much at quarterback, which does make sense.
I mean, are we though? Because like double stacked and then like 7th round quarterback is not the same thing as top 5 round quarterback, in my opinion, especially given the tier breaks of like wide receiver and running back here are all pretty fluid. We got to and so like this is where like the I know bullshit comes up. It's like Caleb's upside at quarterback in a vacuum, but then with 2 of his receivers is pretty immense given his rushing upside. Same thing with Kyler. We've kind of got like Kyler 1 and Kyler 2 on this team, if we're being honest, and we hope that Caleb is Patrick Mahomes too. But then at the same time, like this allows us a lot of roster construction flexibility, starting with 5 receivers. We have an elite tight end. We have our 2 quarterbacks. So like we have a lot of flexibility here, and we still got 2 preferred targets in the glory hole. So big fan there.
I will say using the sidekick, I feel like might be a detriment in the sense that everybody can see who the sidekick is recommending to us, and most people who are watching these streams are probably going to understand that like the players that are best for us are not necessarily the players that are best for them. But I also think there are going to be some people who are just watching like, all right, that's the pick right now, and they're just going to take those picks. So
okay. I remember now why I memory hold the username, because his username is his first and last name, I think.
Oh, okay.
But
so do we not want to? I mean, we don't need to be doxing this guy. I didn't mean to send you on a 20-minute rabbit hole to find the info.
Well, no. So here's the thing: you can find him if you want to. But I will just say, he's not too shy. Obviously, so you didn't watch it. So again,
I watched some of it. To be clear, I still watch all of it because I was I don't need to be watching.
Well, you're missing out. Go revisit.
Right? I think it was pretty long.
The jokes
were just the gist of it. I got the gist of it. Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Well, my favorite part, personally, there's 2. First favorite part was like he gets way too into it. Like he gets like he's enjoying himself so much that you can watch him forget there's a draft and just get really into his part in the video. And then my second favorite is when they auto draft Adam Thielen on accident. She's riding him in Cowgirl, and she's like, and he's like, who's it? And they auto draft Adam Thielen. She's like, oh no, it picked for us. He's like, who is it? And again, she's on top of him. He's like, who is it? She's like, Adam Thielen, and he's like, no, not. And like he's legit pissed as he's pumping that they got Adam Thielen. And then we'll make our pick, and then I'll finish the line that kills me every time.
Every time Tyler watches this frequently. All right, Blake Corum's still there. I feel like we have to now.
In my brain. That's another reason why. Yeah, I'm fine taking him here, unless
Zach Charbonnet the same exact deal. But Blake Corum was suggested for us the last turn. I feel like he kind of got to when he's falling.
Yeah, but I kind of like IK being.
But I also don't have much Corum, so like from getting my exposures to him, I kind of like taking him where he falls. I'm sorry, I got to diversify a little bit, which I think is a factor in the sidekick. By the way, Zach will not be joining us tonight. I did ask, but he is hard at work on the sidekick, making sure that it is always improving, trying to find different uses for it.
Yes.
So I would ask him, but I think it factors in. Maybe not, because I don't know that I ever gave it my exposures.
Yeah, so like my thing, like IKB, it feels like Quorum is strictly a contingent bet. I think Charbonnet could have standalone value. I figured Salmon would take Dowdle, which is a bummer because I wanted Dowdle. So I was hoping to get Dowdle and Quorum or Dowdle and Charbonnet. So now I'm either Charbonnet here or Ty Chandler. Um Charbonnet
Charbonnet has
correlate.
the again the correlations. I think we just do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
we,
fine
we
with
don't
me.
have we don't have any Seattle, so I think yeah,
I'm fine with that. I just I think Ty Chandler's standalone role could be much better than his
better.
ADP is
Yeah,
suggesting, and I think his contingency is up. His upside is very, very big, considering that Aaron Jones is displaying all the normal red flags of like age 30, age cliff season, no guaranteed money after this year. So like even from a him incentive wise, which is I'm low key a little worried about Keenan is like with no money after this year, if things go sideways for him or for the team, there's no incentive to like play through an injury late in the season and like hurt your value or yourself more without guaranteed money and
right,
looking poor down the stretch. You'd rather say,
right.
oh, I got hurt and I couldn't finish the season versus Eckler, he played through it, looked like trash, got paid like trash.
Yeah, good
Um,
call.
so that's something I want to keep in mind. And so for those are players I want to kind of prioritize, and that's where Corum, I think his standalone value is much worse than a Chandler or a Charbonnet. And then I think it's more ambiguous for Charbonnet because while Walker's getting a lot of positive talk, they're asking him directly about Walker. And while they're talking about his pass catching, we're not actually seeing reporting of like him being used in the pass game, which is different. And we've seen this like organization use Charbonnet as the pass catcher actually. Um, and then contingency wise, I I think Charbonnet and Corum going to be pretty equal. Obviously, Corum a little bit edging out, but I just and then my other thing too is like as a prospect, Corum looked a lot better in 2022 than he did in 2023. He had an ACL. He lost at least 1 mile per hour off his top speed in college, and his metrics were much worse across the board. And this might just be who he is because it
Right.
was a clean ACL tear, not a double ligament tear. So research suggests that like after year one off ACL, like this might just be who you are. He's young, so like maybe not, and his combine was pretty good. But I mean, the team loves Kyron and wants to use Kyron a lot, so you're just hoping that he gets lucky with some usage there. So it's fine. It's a weird prospect that I don't really know what to do with because I do really like Kyron. I'm above the field on Kyron, but this backfield is very valuable. So what if he's like Tony Pollard esque, where maybe not as explosive as Pollard, but his standalone is more than I'm giving it credit for, and then obviously his contingency is really big. I'm just having a hard time like gauging
Yeah.
that versus guys like Charbonnet and Chandler, who I think coming out week one have a lot more, and then obviously they could. I think either guy could overtake their backfield in a vacuum. I don't think Corum does that. Corum only does that if Kyron's like straight up out.
So what I gather is that you say you're over the field on Corum. That must have been prior to him kind
Kyron,
of moving up.
no,
Oh,
over
you're
the field on
over the field
Kyron.
on Kyron. Oh, gotcha. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
that makes sense.
yeah.
Um, all right. A couple people congratulated me. Thank you,
Yeah, man.
Sladen and Get Shreked Bra. Yeah, yep, Baldy and the Oaf. Appreciate you all. Um, yeah, it's funny. So I'm doing content for 3 different companies along with myself, doing some content on this channel. But the Rotogrinders are really one. Rotogrinders one really did pick up some steam in terms of people being like, "That's cool." I think because it's like the OG DFS site, so people who know me know Rotogrinders and like are excited
Yeah.
about Rotogrinders. And I am excited. I thought it was pretty cool to see them do the flannelized Rotogrinders Twitter logo today. Was pretty awesome. So I'm excited to be doing.
It was a good banner for you. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. Appreciate you all. Give me a shout out. I'm excited. I'm excited for DFS season, man. It's gonna be super busy with all the different content I'm doing, but I am excited about it.
Yeah. You're going to be churning it out, man.
Michael Wilson moves up near the top. Jalen right there. Do you have thoughts here?
Ooh. I think with our build, we should. I want one of Ray Davis or White. I think let's get White and hope that Wilson comes back to us because I want to take Wilson here.
All right. He should
But
come back at 158. I'd be surprised if.
yeah, no. So he
You
should
never
come back to us, but I'm pretty sure Salmon's going to take. Yeah, I knew he was going to take one or if not both of the guys. So yeah, I'm very good with Wilson here.
Nice.
The other thing to consider though is if you want to stack Stafford as a third QB or not.
I don't feel like we need a third quarterback. I
But if he
didn't
comes
notice any.
back around, I'm in on
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
But yeah,
That's how I feel.
let's take Wilson. Okay, cool, perfect.
Yep.
Look at us in lockstep, Neil. See, when it gets late, we don't have to play this bit of like
We don't have to
you're
pretend to
shit,
disagree.
I hate
Yeah.
you hate me, and it's just all just free flowing and chill,
Just ceremonious. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. The Go ahead.
Oh, and I'm going back and forth with Dwayne McFarland about like Neighbors being kind of like the rookie year Waddle, and I was like, I don't know. I look at Tua's per game stuff, and it's slightly better than Jones was, and now Jones is coming off an ACL, and I don't know that the pace and the volume is going to be the same, and he's like splitting hairs with like it's not that much different, and then he's like, is this what a Jones truther feels like? Jesus, let me off this train, and that cracked me up.
That's great. So you're picking fights while we're streaming. You're fighting with Dwayne.
Neil, I was at the HEB making a grocery run because I've seen some of the prompts on Twitter come in, and a few lovely folks from the sanctuary decided that instead of being kind, they were going to get their revenge for all the Rashad Bateman and J.K. Dustbins slander I've been saying.
Nice.
So I got some brutal prompts, one including frozen peas, and I don't have any, and I'm trying to be the best sport. I'm trying to make the Randomizer Hall of Fame. I want to be the 101 of guests. So I'm going to do everything, but you guys are, y'all are brutalizing me. And this is what I see. I have no idea what's behind.
Yeah. I got very little of the ones that I saw. It was mostly the other ones that I.
So I'm mentally prepping for the public ones, and I'm mentally, dude. So I told my wife this. She knows I'm going on the randomizer, and I showed her the clip. I was on and off the clock. I like just threw out a super chat pretending to be like a 1-year badge user because they were thinking all the 1-year badge guys. And John pulled it up and he's like, Pete, I gotta ask, are you worried about tomorrow? And he's like, oh, me? I thought you were asking Tyler. And he laughs and he's like, nah, I'm gonna be sipping on my water bottle, watching Tyler dance like a little monkey, for our show. And I'm like, he was so nonchalant about it that I was like, I am in for a hard time.
Wait, sorry. Who did you say asked Pete that?
John Warner on the Badge Bros.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
On and off the clock. So yeah.
Yeah. What does he have to be nervous about? He just gets to watch you do.
Well, so John and Nez met me in Vegas, and they know I'm pretty open and unhinged.
We all know that. We all know you pretty well. I think like you are the kind of guy who like we know you. We feel like we know you pretty well.
Yeah. So anyway, so they're all like, "Oh my God, are you worried about like what he's gonna do? He's gonna like trash your channel and demonetize you and get you canceled and all this stuff." And Pete was so cool and so laid back about it that I'm like, "Oh, that's slightly unnerving," because I expect him to be like, "Yeah, I'm a little worried," and Pete's like, "Nah, we're gonna put him through the ringer, little fucker." And I'm like, "Oh man,
that's awesome.
It's gonna be rough." I'm excited. It'll be fun. We don't have any. Who are our pass catchers again? It's Puka.
It's 2561. Here, I'll move this a little. Thanks. Yeah, so we have Kyler, Caleb.
It's Puka, Marv, Michael Wilson. Can't think.
We could go Jonnu, Tyler Conklin.
Let's do Conklin. I'm good with Conklin. Yeah, let's go Conklin. He's a little bit of a value. He could spike with touchdowns on an offense. He's leveraged off of Wilson, who we didn't get access to. He and Rodgers apparently been linking up okay. His upside is just running stupidly hot like Rob Tunyon did. But like with Conklin and McBride, I feel pretty confident sticking at 2 tight ends if we stick there. The question there is like receiver or running back. I think receiver, unless you think there's a tier break.
There are
because Dortch might be available, but he might be overdoing it. I kind of like taking either Herbert, Roschon, or Tracy to stack with. I think I want to take one of the Bears backs to stack with Caleb.
You know, I want Herbert if we're going Bears back.
Then let's fucking take Herbert. We're bridging divides here, man.
Of course, secretly hoping that he gets traded to the Cowboys or something. But
secretly, I'm just hoping he make Swift look like Miles Sanders last year and just
Also that.
does Chuba but better than Chuba.
Yeah.
Mm.
Wait, I was gonna. Oh, I love that. So Pat just says, laugh. I just saw the tweet. The tweet saying Neil beats Pete and Pat to his 100th stream best ball draft, or to stream his 100th BBM draft. You could still do it if Pat wanted to. He could jump in right now and do his 100th. But I know that he's saving it for Pete tomorrow. Pete going on his stream.
What a guy! What a
Yeah.
guy! Yeah, it sounds like we're doing randomizer, and then he is going into ship chasing with Pat and Gretsch to do one of their main events.
Oh, tomorrow night he's doing that. Okay.
Yeah.
Jewish McCaffrey says he's excited to watch your. We're all excited for Tyler's randomizer. Who knows what's going to happen on Tyler's randomizer? It's going to
Everyone's tents are full 3.9 for tomorrow, and it's so funny, man. I went from like a random nothing account that just tweeted way too much about football and argued about like Hall of Fame cases and who's good and who's bad and blah blah blah. Like 4 years ago, to like lurking on the ship chasing stuff. It's what a stupid arc. This whole space is so dumb.
It's funny. It's a
in the
space.
best way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be a good time. Yeah. Not a surprise that Jewish McCaffrey has done more than 99 sprints already.
If they send you a cactus, I mean, I'm worried you're going to commit seppuku with it, to be honest. So maybe they send you something softer. Ooh, they can send you a fuzzy cactus. That might be smart.
What is that about? Why would Jewish McCaffrey commit seppuku?
Because have you seen what he does to try to get those things filled, and then every other one gets tossed because it's some dipshit drafting poorly and it wastes everybody's time, and then even when they get a good room, someone's like, I just, from what I see, the sprint rooms are just mass chaos and no fun at all.
I haven't done a ton of them.
Yeah, they don't look fun from the rooms I've seen, which makes them soft, but also makes them not fun, which sounds like playoff best ball, which I do not play because I do not enjoy that.
I love playoff best ball. It is probably the most fun in my opinion, but I hear you. If it's not your thing, it's not your thing.
I don't know. It's kind of like it's a little bit more solved, right? Like there's
it's a little bit more solved, but very few people play it correctly.
Right, but that also makes it miserable, right? Because
true.
Your team is dead the second someone plays poorly and fucks your team up. And I personally, I know the drafts are a little bit quicker, but like I personally like that is like truly tilting. And dude, if you're asking me to do that like 100 to 300 times, I can't mentally put up with like half my teams being dead as shit because another drafter, right? Like that would drive me nuts. So like for my own mental sanity, I get y'all like making good on it and whatever, but like at the end of the day, I still play this for enjoyment and because I think I have an edge and enjoyment. And if I'm not enjoying it, I'm not going to do it. But yeah, it
becomes addictive though, because like the stakes of your draft of like, fuck, that guy took the guy I needed, just like totally screwed me. Like it becomes more addictive in some ways because of that.
Yeah. Sack over here.
That's why you need to draft 20. Can you draft playoff best ball with the sidekick? I guess I did not.
I'm pretty sure that's part of why they're putting it all together.
Oh, we're on the clock. We are on the clock.
It's going to make it super easy.
Janu is a suggestion here.
Let's get receiver. Let's do Walker. Let's take another rookie.
Quentin Johnson. I feel pretty strongly that we're not going to do.
Oh, we took Slayton.
How did that? Man, I don't know what I
think our clock ran out before you could click.
My bad.
You're good. We're what?
Jalen Hyatt now running ahead of Slayton. That hurts a little bit.
Yeah, don't love that. Although the way they get there is fine.
I mean, it still could work out just fine.
Probably just how many? 6 running backs? Yeah, I think we can take another receiver if we wanted to.
I think so too. So Walker, Zay Jones would be. Oh, Jalen Hyatt's still there. We could go double Giants. We do. It's same week as the Cardinals though, so maybe we don't want that. Jordan Whittington, I have 0 shares.
Just take Walker. Just take Walker. I think Whittington is a play that either Kupp gets hurt or he takes D-Rob's job, which is fine. But I think on this team, I want to give us a couple more shots at like other random games. And Walker's off of Bateman, Walker's off of Flowers. Again, things we didn't take in this draft. So And then at the end of the day, I think a rookie receiver late makes a lot of sense. So would have preferred Walker Hyatt there, but I think we might have ended up going Walker and Winnington at that point, maybe.
Yeah, that was my bad. I'm still getting used to using the side. This is the first draft that I've done with the sidekick. So if you're
I mean,
wondering
a
why
late pick like that, very, very easily overcome. I got to bounce, but this was
okay,
super fun.
this
Thanks for
was
having
super
me on.
fun. Thank you for coming on, Tyler. Thank you for telling me all of your thoughts on best ball brunch. And but seriously, looking forward to the randomizer. If any of you want to see Tyler maybe made a little bit uncomfortable for the first time in his life. I don't know. Hopefully, we're gonna make Tyler uncomfortable on the randomizer tomorrow.
Good
That's
luck.
gonna be on Pete's channel tomorrow night.
Good luck. All right, y'all. Have a good one. Thanks.
All right.
Dude, this team slaps. I'm
This team
very
does.
excited.
Yeah, it's a good team. It's a good team. All right.
All right, catch
Later,
you later,
Tyler.
Neil. Have a good one.
You too. Yep. A-Rod asked, what's the pop out on the right side of the screen? Birdie answered, it's at Legendary Upside. So go to I think it's legendaryupside.com. Go there. You can buy it. I think it's, Zach can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it's $499 for the season, maybe like $199 for a month, something like that. But yeah, go to legendaryupside.com. It is an incredible tool. Some of the smartest people I know had a hand in creating the sidekick. I think it is awesome. I don't have a discount code for you or anything like that. I don't think that they are out there. I'm not sure, but Legendary Upside, it is a sidekick. Very cool tool. Highly recommend. As you can see here, that was number 99. With Tyler, I'm going to label this one. It does this like I said was my first fast draft using it. It does reduce the stress a bit to know that it's giving you like some of the best options, just showing you the options. Very cool. But I'm gonna move over to here. End up with Kyler and Caleb as the quarterbacks. Jalen Warren, Tony Pollard, Blake Corum, Zach Charbonnet, Jalen Wright, Khalil Herbert are the running backs. Wide receiver, we have Puka Nacua, Marvin Harrison, Tank Dell, Keenan Allen, Romo Dunze, Michael Wilson, Darius Slayton, Tez Walker, and then at tight end, Trey McBride and Tyler Conklin. I'm pretty happy with that team. I think it's a very, very solid team. Nice correlations there. Happy to have it. Jake, you around? You want to jump on? Oh, he's on Twitter. He's not on YouTube. Probably not going to see it. That's funny. For 0%. Yeah, exactly right. Oldest to max BBM, you will get your 0% discount on the sidekick. It's a cool tool. You referring to me? Am I the hot mess? I don't know. Did I snipe? Did I snipe somebody, Mr. Mister? It was Sam Olson looking for, who did I snipe? I went Darius Slayton, Tez Walker. Or was it you? You wanted Tez Walker. Who do you have? Oh, Tez Walker for the comeback on CJ Stroud. I think I'm following. All right. Like I said, the goal of this stream is to get through BBM 100. All right. I'll look at your team though. Mr. Oh yeah, he says Yep. Sorry to snipe you. I got thrown off. Got thrown off there. He's a good pick though. Very solid pick. All right. Jim gonna join for the 100th. I am about to get in. So if you guys want to draft with me in my 100th Best Ball Mania stream, I am about to get in. Got to go find it first. Streaming all 150, and this is number 100. It is whenever o'clock. Get in here. Come draft with me. Interesting. This is still showing the players from the last one. Oh, that is hell yeah, Jake. That's what I like to hear. I'm gonna send Jake the link. Jake and I have been talking about having him on the stream. Again, did not send out the invitation to anybody for this stream ahead of time. It was so last minute that I thought, nah, I'm not going to get anybody on this stream. Back-to-back guests, I'll take that. Jake, I sent it to you on Twitter. hop on in. For those of you who don't know, Jake and I did the UFL show together for on the Fantasy Points YouTube channel this spring. It was a lot of fun. Jake recently had a tweet that went viral. He copied a meme tweet and made fun of Zero RB Bros, and people got upset. I told him that it was his worst tweet before I realized that it was a complete joke. Looking forward to having Jake on the channel. All right, what's our pick number? We have pick. Oh no, this is still. Oh, I think did I just enter in the wrong place? I'm very confused. Active. Where is my Best Ball Mania stream? There it is. I don't know what just happened there, but we're back. We're back in. We got the sidekick going. It is suggesting Amon-Ra St. Brown to me. Let's see if Jake is here. If he wants to. No, he's not going to have any input. He's not in here yet. We're taking Amon-Ra St. Brown. I kind of need him because I have low exposure to Amon-Ra. I'll move this over here. Here's the draft. All right, who's in this one? So we got Mr. got the 1 hole. The what is in here with the 3 hole. Jim is in here at the 5 hole. I'm in 6. KZ has the 8 hole. Sam Olson, 11. Anybody else? Anybody else in here with me? Drafting here with us? Let me know. That is hilarious that it's somebody else said earlier that was their number 99. Where was I'm trying to find it in chat. Louis said drafting my 99th BBM 5 at the 10 hole over here. Luis, did you make it into this one? Are you drafting your 100th with me in my 100th? And then Jim says this is actually his number 99. So I am 1 ahead of you. Oh yeah, here we go. Luis in here. So we are drafting our 100th together. Feels magical to me. So Luis, you are PIR Piri 24. Is that you, Luis? Hell yeah. Oh, we got Jake here. All right, I'm gonna bring Jake in here. This is your 104. So you are ahead of us. I'm bringing Jake in. Excited to have my Fantasy Points co-host, Jake. What is going on, Jake Tribby?
How's it going, Neil? This is it's quite an honor for you to have me on for the first time all off season for your 100th draft. Caught me at a weird time. I've consumed a lot of pizza. I've had 3 beers.
Love it. That is the ideal time to have you on, because we did one drinking stream. Our final UFL stream was a drinking stream, but otherwise we're not drinking on the streams typically.
No, and I have more beer in my fridge. I was actually planning. I was like walking to my car. I saw you were streaming. I was about to, or not to my car. I was walking to my apartment gym. So I was walking right past my car, and then I was like, oh, Neil's streaming his 100th draft. I feel like I should probably drop a comment here, and obviously couldn't resist the invite.
Love it.
Yeah.
We talked about back in the UFL days. Jake and I talked about having him on the channel, and he was like, no, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to think about the NFL yet. This is a couple of months ago. Now, of course, we are all gearing up for NFL season, fast approaching. So I'm sure you've got some takes.
Yeah, I have a handful of takes. It's always tough because every year, me and Scott Barrett basically have the same takes that we arrive at independently of each other, which is pretty frustrating, especially because I started late, because of UFL. So, I show up and all of a sudden I'm, clicking buttons in draft thinking about the players I want. And it turns out Scott Barrett's been all over these guys the whole time. Waddle or Achane would be.
Do you have a preference between the two?
Probably my pick. What do we have? Amon-Ra. I guess Achane would be my lane. Achane to me is like, it feels like he's going to average like 27 DK points per game, and he's going to play like 7 games.
That would be pretty good. I'll play 7 games. I mean, even if he does play 27 games, if he's averaging, how you say 25? I mean, we would take that.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be something insane. I just always worry with these like super freak athletes that their bodies just won't be able to hold up. And we did see that a little bit last year with him. But I mean, injuries are so all over the place that probably just overthinking it a bit. How do you feel, Neil, being first guy to hit 100 live stream drafts? Is that true?
I mean,
are you sure about that?
I'm not 100% sure because Pete had said earlier this year. All right, I'm going to confess now. Pete had said on the Best Ball Breakfast, he said something about getting to his 100th stream, and he talked about potentially doing it on the Swolecast. He was talking about, if I do, my 100th, I'll make a big deal about it. Maybe I'll do it on the Swolecast. And then he did do a draft on the Swolecast earlier today. I did not learn whether that was Best Ball Mania or something else, whether it was number 100. So it is possible that Pete actually did beat me to this earlier today and just didn't make a big deal about it. But no, obviously everybody's goal in drafting is to be the first person to stream their 100th Best Ball Mania draft. So so I just beat everybody to it. This was everybody going for the same goal, and I was the first one to do it.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna assume Pete accidentally drafted like the Poodle 2, maybe a Palm but super flex team.
Let's assume that.
Yeah. So, and if you're not super loud about it, did it really even happen?
Exactly. All right. So Diggs, Moore, Dell, Flowers. Anybody you love here?
I don't know if I really love anybody here. I mean, DJ Moore would probably be my lean. I don't think it. I mean, I guess Pittman's a little better with Downs' high ankle thing, but that probably won't end up mattering. Let's just go DJ Moore.
Yeah, I like DJ Moore. Got the NFC North correlation. I don't know if they play each other in the playoff weeks, but they'll play each other twice at least.
Yeah,
that's something.
There you go.
Neil, have you already discussed Debo ADP if when Ayuk trade happens? I think he goes 10th overall right after AJ Brown. That feels right. I think he's probably right. Probably. I mean, Debo has already moved up. Like you don't see him fall past pick 15 very often these days. I think if the Ayuk trade becomes official, probably he moves up a little bit more. What do you think, Jake?
Yeah, he's going to be, I would think, in that 6 to 8 range, right around where Puka's getting.
Oh, you think so? You think he's going to
get ahead of... I mean, I think there's a pretty compelling argument for him, seeing more volume, and people are just going to be excited about it. I mean, last year, Calvin Ridley runs fast and moves up 13 spots.
True.
Debo Samuel loses the other guy he's competing with for targets. I see him moving up pretty significantly.
He still have Kittle, CMC there. I mean, he's not like the
CMC's,
one other guy.
Yeah, I mean the injury news on CMC though also helps Debo.
True.
Point. If anything were to happen to CMC in season, especially with no Ayuk, it would be, man, what an awesome role that would be for Debo. I reposted the blurb that I wrote from 2020. Well, I wrote it in 2022, but it was about the 2021 season. I mean, when Debo played running back for the second half of the year, wide receiver for the first half of the year, and averaged 22 DraftKings points per game doing both things.
Damn, pretty incredible.
There's a pretty great argument for him being, probably the best, contingency value player on the team.
Yeah. Samwise just said that this is his 114th team. So we have a lot of people in pretty experienced drafters in this draft with us.
Something that I wanted to ask you about, I was thinking about my eventual appearance on this show quite a bit.
Yeah.
I hope you know. Oh, got some Maker's Mark tonight?
Oh, yeah. Nice. Big time. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, something that I wanted to ask you about was, what do you think is sort of like an optimal distribution for, 150 Best Ball Mania teams? Because, in years past, I was probably more like you are right now with your BBMs, where I was pretty spread out throughout the year, just doing, plugging away a few drafts a week. This year, I think I'm going to go pretty late August, early September for the vast majority of my volume, and just go hard over the course of, maybe 10 days.
Let's make our pick, and then I'll answer the question. So we have Achan, Amon-Ra, DJ Moore.
Yeah, this is
nothing obvious to me. It's T. Higgins is top of the. We go Higgins.
Yeah, I'd be fine with Higgins.
All right, we'll go Higgins. It's a tough range. At least no bye week overlap, so that's good.
If Higgins wasn't there, I guess I would have gone McBride.
Oh, I like McBride also. Yeah. Could have done that. I think later for me, later in the year is better. I think there are people who are better than I am at like anticipating the news and anticipating like ADP moves, and like maybe for some people you can get great ADP values by drafting early. I don't think that is my biggest strength. So I think for me, like most of my BBM drafts last year were actually pretty late. I was doing all the smaller drafts earlier, and I think my BBM teams were the best. So I do think for me, like drafting end of August, early September is probably ideal. So for you, I take it you have not done a ton of drafts so far, so you're in a good position.
Yeah, I haven't done a ton of drafts, and I remember seeing, and I believe it was an ETR show where they noted dead players by time of draft, and
It might have been
obviously,
the
end of
manifesto.
August, yeah, end of August, early September was, you just had a great chance for all 18 to be live, which is so key to winning and being successful in the playoffs. So that was part of the swing for me, and then also, I mean, I just think. And I'm not sure how many people consider this, but when the risk-free rate is higher than 0, you should probably think just a little bit more about locking your money up for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
In a highly volatile contest like Best Ball Mania.
Fair point.
I'm gonna try to adjust my lighting real quick because I'm glowing a bit too much.
I don't know what's happening, but I am getting a million notifications from Underdog right now about being on the clock. And it's apparently every single draft I'm on, somebody is just finishing up, because I have, a ton of drafts that I am just on the clock, like just became on the clock. And it's blowing my mind. Wait, am I on the clock here? No. Oh, I was nervous for a second. I saw on the clock 2 hours left, and I thought it said Best Ball Mania. It is Best Bowl Mania. It's harder for me to make those picks because I don't know anything about college football. So I send those ones a little bit longer. All right, let's see here. What's up, Disbanded Brotherhood? Cheers.
All right, I think that's a little better. I got myself.
This is correct. Oh, hell yeah. My friend Jeremy says it's up to others to prove they drafted their 100th, to stream their 100th draft first. I agree with that.
Exactly. 100%. Give me the YouTube link, or it did
prove
not
it.
happen. Yep.
Yeah. Rashi Rice would be top in terms of the
suggestion
from the sidekick.
Let's go, Rashi. Do you have an opinion on Jaden Reed? I'm curious.
Not really. I think my opinion is probably, just the standard, like he's a fine pick. I'm going to be probably slightly underweight to him because he goes first of the Packers guys. I do think he probably should be the first of the Packers guys to go, but like the discount, the separation between Jaden Reed and Dontavian Wicks to me is probably greater than it should be. So it's a tough click for me, but I think it's also a fine pick because I do think he should go the first of them. I don't know. So not a strong opinion. Do you have a strong opinion?
So would you say Wicks is your favorite value of that group?
It's tough. Like right now, I kind of feel like they're all fairly valued. Like I don't have a strong. He was for a while. Like I was pretty high on Wicks in the pre-draft stuff and early in the draft season when he was going around pick 140, 150. But now he's like up to pick 115. I'm like, I can get Jerry Jeudy cheaper. Wow. That feels so much safer to me.
Yeah, that's quite the rise from Wicks. I was actually looking at some redraft stuff, and I mean, every year this is always the case, but Wicks is still at that 140 range in redraft. It's incredible how slow that market moves compared to something like Best Ball Mania. Really crazy stuff. But yeah, on the Packers wide receivers, I have serious rotational concerns here. I worry that this is going to be kind of a 4-man show, and that could make it tough. I also think, and this is a take that I deserve some hate for this, but in a tournament format, I think Christian Watson is probably the best pick overall.
I think he's
the highest upside guy. I also have, I'm looking at Jaden Reed's stats from Fantasy Points data. 0 games over an 80% route share is certainly concerning to me. I just, the ceilings, you could obviously argue against. He did, multiple games over 20 DraftKings points last year. So, and obviously, the Jordan Love taking a step forward thing is kind of already priced in. Although I suppose, he obviously played great near the second half of last season. So, maybe it's not as much pricing in as, it's just, that's kind of what's going to happen.
By the way, you did mention Fantasy Points Data Suite, so I got to mention 15% off using promo code Orfield24. Any Fantasy Points product that includes content. Oh, George Kittle is a smash for me here at 67.
Hell yeah, yeah.
I think he's going to be a 4 or 5 turn play if the Ayuk trade happens. Like I think so getting him where he was prior to any Ayuk rumors feels pretty good to me. I'm taking Kittle there all day.
Yeah, I think so too. It'd certainly be interesting if the Ayuk trade just didn't happen, and we end
Which
up.
is very possible, I think.
Oh,
too.
yeah, for sure. But no, either way, still like Kittle. I've said for years that to me, George Kittle is kind of like the Aaron Jones of tight ends, where 8 points here, 12 points there, and then all of a sudden he posts the best tight end score of the season, and no one really comes close, and that's extra nice in best ball.
Yeah. Oh yeah, big time. Let's see. Tokyo Swan says Moore over Diggs hurts me on a deep level. I kind of, it's kind of a coin flip for me between those two. So I respect that you have a stronger take than I do. I like Diggs. I actually draft a good amount of Diggs, but it's a coin flip for me there. And Racken says, yeah, the Bears schedule. Love the Vikings, Lions, Seahawks, like getting that quad. Bears, Vikings, Lions, Seahawks. Actually, no, Bears usually be the Packers over the Lions. Those are the ones where you get the overlaps in the playoff weeks. Is Bears, Vikings, Seahawks, and Packers, not including the Lions, but still good to know the schedule there. Gibbs Debo at the turn for the rest of the contest. I could see that. I think that's a very realistic outcome that people just double tap that for the week 17 Lions Niners game. I like that. Jeremy says, do you have an Uncrustable to go with your whiskey? This was, you might not remember this, Jake, but I did a bourbon and Uncrustables party at my house a couple years back. That Jeremy actually, I think, was the brains behind it. And I posted it on Twitter, and people were very confused about why we were doing a bourbon and Uncrustables party.
Wow, so that's really interesting. That's something I would not expect out of anyone who really isn't like in college. So that's pretty cool though that you would do that. Were like the wives involved, or was this just the boys?
I mean, my wife hosted. Yeah, no, there's
nice big party.
All right, so Lad McConkey is the top suggestion. Jameson Williams, if we want to continue that game stack. Aaron Jones, what do you think?
Oh man, I would slightly lean Jones.
I'm out on Jones because of the bye week overlap.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's go JMO.
Got him. Couldn't do it because they have, I'm pretty sure the same. Yeah, Vikings and Dolphins have the week 17, which apparently Leg Up likes Jones enough that they didn't care about that they were still willing to suggest him as the. Oh yeah, it says bye overlap over here. So it's not enough of a factor for them to not have him near the top, but it is for me. It is for me to just break the tie that way.
That's a really great overlay. I have not dived into the depths of Underdog enough to consider what overlay I'm going with. It's Leg Up and then Endgame, right? They also have an overlay. Are there any others that I'm missing?
Yep. So there's so this is the Leg Up sidekick is what I'm using here. There's also Endgame Syndicate. That would be Brick 75's Caddy, Draft Caddy. So you can find that at draftcaddy.com. And then Best Ball Overlay is another if you're just looking for kind of they have a kind of a bare bones overlay, but then they also have some cool things behind the scenes. So those are the three off the top of my head that I have used, and I would recommend all of them. They're all kind of different price points and have different levels of what they're giving you. The sidekick, I would say, gives you the most in terms of suggestion. Like I think it has the most that it considers as far as like what should be your next pick. I think it's but it's also the most expensive. So it's kind of like the high end if you want to pay out for it. The Leg Up sidekick is that one.
Gotcha.
Burrow. Why is it recommending? Oh, we have Higgins. All right. Interesting. And we do not have a quarterback.
Yeah, I'd be fine with Burrow here. These running backs are pretty tough. Ramondre would definitely be my favorite, though.
Be fine with Ramondre.
Probably no suspension for Jordan Addison this year, right?
That seems to be that was Tyler's read also.
Yeah, that's what I have heard from my lovely coworkers over at Fantasy Points.
They are in the know.
They certainly are. It makes my job a lot easier. Obviously, we've got a variety of Discord channels where we chat and stuff, and yeah, you hang out in our projections channel for a little bit. You'll be up to date on news pretty quick.
I don't think I'm in that one. I don't think they invited me to the projections channel.
Yeah, man,
Um,
you gotta get in a little deeper for that. That's
yeah.
not just anybody can get in there, Neil.
Joe Burrow is the recommendation here, and I think is a good pick.
Yeah,
I
I'm
pick,
always good with my boy Joe Shiesty.
yeah. Jake, are you going to be doing a lot of NFL content this fall?
I will be. Yeah, I don't think my schedule is quite set in stone, but I will be doing. It looks like I'll be doing the DFS early look again in some capacity, which I know everybody likes. The earliest look you will get at whatever upcoming DFS main slate we're dealing with. So I generally write that on Mondays, almost always up Tuesday morning. I also did a show last year with Thomas Tipple, who you may know, Neil, from producing some of our shows, one of our Dynasty guys.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about, sort of an early look, video show style, quick little 20-minute thing. I believe we'll be doing that again this year.
Hell yeah.
And then I'm not sure I'll be doing my, in the years past, I did like a study hall article that was sort of like a flagship, like overarching view of the slate. Me and Scott were talking a bit. That's a tad redundant to Scott Barrett's slate breakdown.
Okay.
And we already, compare notes, obviously, and talk a lot about the plays that we like. So it looks like we're probably going to split the slate breakdown. And then I'm not sure what I'll be doing in the middle of the week. Oh, and I'll probably be doing some shows. I might, I don't want to say for sure what shows, because we're still figuring that out. But Battle Royale may be involved. So I'll tease that. And then, I might have like a midweek article. But yeah, if you see a fewer articles with my name on them this year, it's because I'll be doing a little bit more, helping out Scott with some of his flagship pieces, because Scott will gladly kill himself writing 14,000 words on the week 7 slate, and everyone's just like, why are you doing this? Like, you gotta
stop punishing yourself, man.
Every single year that I got hired by Fantasy Points in 2021. Every year that I've known Scott, without fail, he's told me my biggest priority for the season is cutting down on word count. And he never really does.
He's just incapable of cutting down on his word count.
Mm-hmm. He's got a lot to say.
Yeah, he does. He has a lot to say. And it benefits. It benefits the readers for sure.
Oh, yeah. It's awesome. But it's also like, geez, man, you gotta take a nap or stretch.
Right. Yeah. All right. Problem with the Bears, no matter how good the depth chart looks, they are still the Bears. That is a very good point, and I appreciate the Bears for being the Bears as a Vikings fan.
Yeah, I grew up in Chicago, so I'm well aware that the Bears are the Bears, and it's not great.
Good. That is well done, Samwise. I wish that I had bought the dip on Rashee Rice at this point. Obviously, it's looking pretty good. I did not really buy the dip as much as I should have.
You weren't drafting him much there at 87, or
no? He was. I was worried about the suspension. I was kind of like, what is he going to be even when he does come back? So I did not buy the dip, which at this point looking like a pretty big mistake. Chase Brown, kind of a riser lately, is available for us.
Yes, Chase Brown. I was drafting a lot of Chase Brown as soon as I started doing drafts. For me, I mean, that one was as simple as one of the running backs is Zach Moss, and the other one is a very exciting young guy who's ripped off a ton of big plays. I mean, even if Zach Moss is listed RB1 week 1, I don't care, because I just think Chase Brown is better. And by the end of the year, Chase Brown is going to be getting more work. Maybe not in terms of total touches, but certainly in terms of expected fantasy points.
See, I was Moss over Chase Brown. The funny thing is I have more Chase Brown than Zach Moss because he was going later, but I was always like, yeah, Moss seems like the better bet to me. Like, he was pretty good last year for the Colts when he played. Scott was pretty down on Chase Brown, which I factor in Scott's opinions. Yeah, he was early on. He was like, yeah, don't go chasing Chase Brown during big board. He just didn't believe in the talent. So that affected.
Did he think they were going to draft somebody? Was that the reason?
I think it was after they got Zach Moss, so it was like he just didn't think that he was. Oh, maybe it was before. I don't know.
Maybe Scott will have
but he likes Chase Brown now too. Yeah,
he'll have some really weird player takes. Like, he's almost always on the money, but then sometimes he'll just be like, "This guy absolutely sucks."
Right.
When he doesn't. Like, the year Saquon Barkley, or maybe he was 2 years removed from his ACL, Scott was like, "Oh yeah, garbage. Like, he looks terrible." And everyone was like, "What are you talking about?" I think he dropped that after another 3 or 4 weeks went by, when Saquon actually, started putting up good numbers and expected fantasy points.
Yeah, I mean he will, which I give him credit. Like this is a trait that I really appreciate in an analyst is he's willing to change his take. Like if things
Oh,
don't
yeah.
go the way he expects them, some people are just like dig in and they're just like, this is my guy. I'm going to stick with this guy. So Scott is at this point in on Chase Brown also. So that's
Yeah,
good
I
to know.
think generally speaking, you want strong convictions loosely held
Yeah.
with pretty much all your player takes. There's no, no reason to go down with the ship, especially, with us, Neil, like we really like the shorter term games like Battle Royale, DFS. Makes it really easy to adjust your player takes here.
So we, Brock Purdy's suggestion, we do have Kittle.
I guess I'm fine with Purdy. That would wrap up quarterback for us, which would be kind of nice.
Yeah.
I don't have a strong lean. I've always liked Gus Bus, especially in a half PPR.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
I
like Gus Bus too.
Okay, yeah, let's go Purdy.
Oh yeah, we do have a Monra. Yeah, it's interesting. We have a Monra and JMO. But I'm happy with Purdy there. Feels like a good pick. Yeah, this is how come no one likes Dobbs more than the other guys? I think it's just a matter of it's a committee, and he if you look at the efficiency metrics, Dobbs is a little bit worse than all of the other three. Like they all have shown like the ability to be that dude to some extent, and I don't think Dobbs has ever shown that. But Jordan Love seems to love Dobbs. So I'm starting to mix Dobbs in again. How do you feel about Dobbs, Jake?
I like Dobbs. I think I like him more than Jaden Reed at cost.
At cost, okay.
I think Jaden Reed is probably the most overrated Packer overall, just by current ADP.
Sure.
Not an indictment of him as a player or anything like that. Yeah, I'm fine with Dobbs. The thing about Dobbs is that he's always amazing in July and August. He's like the best training camp player ever. So maybe he'll put it together a little more. Jair Alexander was asked who are the best wide receivers in the NFL, and he said Devontae Adams and Romeo Dobbs.
That's pretty nuts.
Yeah. So there might be a little juice there that we're just not properly rating because, Jaden Reed was the most exciting for fantasy last year and Christian Watson can run really fast.
Right.
And Romeo Dobbs is just kind of like a little in between those guys. Yeah. I'm realistically, if you're taking Jordan Love, you're mixing in, all four of his receivers plus, Musgrave and maybe even some Kraft or whatever in the 18th round.
I always like getting at least a double stack. Sometimes a triple stack with the Packers. Yeah. I'm totally willing to do.
Yeah, especially, there's a real chance no one in this offense has a target share over 19%.
Right. It moved Pearsall all the way up here for us because we took Purdy. This will be way ahead of ADP.
So I'm actually a big Jawan Jennings guy. Given this Ayuk news, but I wouldn't hate. He's an 18th rounder. I wouldn't hate Pearsall and Jennings.
Should we go Charbonnet here and see if Pearsall comes back to us?
There's a pretty good chance he would. So yeah, I think I'd like that.
Would you prefer Charbonnet or Chubb or Zeke?
Ooh.
Or Benson or Dowdle, actually. There's some names out there.
I think let's go Charbonnet and then maybe. Yeah, let's go Charbonnet.
Yeah, cool. We've got the DJ Moore, so we've got a little Week 17 correlation there.
Yeah, Charbonnet is going to be pretty great if Ken Walker gets hurt.
I did want to put. Andrew says Watson also may have another leg injury as of today. Yeah, it looked bad.
I remember seeing that, and I immediately blocked that out of my mind. I was like, no, I can't. I cannot do this again. But. Here we go.
Was Kittle? He might have been the TE3 last year. Yeah, he's just he has such big spike weeks and then he just doesn't do a lot and it's a little bit scary, but I think he's a great pick once again. Drew is maybe going to be able to make it onto the show. Doesn't seem like he is going to be joining us tonight because I think this is going to be my last draft of the night. So, but Drew comes on the channel pretty regularly.
Love Drew. Big fan of Drew's Twitter.
Yeah, Drew's a good Twitter. He does troll me a little bit, which fuck you, Drew.
He's a good troll.
He is a good troll. Yeah. You need the Viking fan local to tell me if JJ McCarthy is starting Week 7 or not. No, my hot take is no. JJ McCarthy will not be starting Week 7. I think Sam Darnold holds on to the job. We'll see. What up, Hodge? It's good to see Hodge in here.
I don't know if I have a strong take on JJ, but I do know our draft guy, Brett Whitefield, who's a great football mind, really loved JJ McCarthy.
I know Thor loved him. Thor Nystrom loved him.
Yeah,
So
a lot of the takes on him were really interesting because his counting stats were so bad. He missed 10 quarters during the season because he got pulled because they were just blowing everybody out, and they didn't throw. They were running the ball every play. So I think a lot of people are just like, oh yeah, a quarterback who throws for 2,600 yards his final year of college in a year where they played 15 games.
right,
No chance. Like I can't be in on that guy.
but he was good when he actually got to throw the ball. He was good.
Exactly.
Is my takeaway. Yeah. The Chase Brown, Zach Moss thing has been very. GA says people think Chase Brown may be only between the 20s running back and not third down. He didn't do a ton of third downs last year, as I recall. He had very limited third down usage last year. And then we saw Zach Moss today had like multiple touchdowns. So I don't know. I think that keeps going back and forth, flipping. The Chase Brown, Zach Moss thing is pretty interesting.
If Zach Moss catches more passes than Chase Brown, I'm gonna be pretty sad, man. That's gonna be pretty tough.
I have a lot of both, so I think I'll be okay either way. As long as one of them is useful, that's all I need.
I mean, I'm fine with Moss. I've just been clicking a lot of Chase Brown when I've been ripping drafts. I've primarily been drafting on DK. Have you been firing many DK drafts?
Oh yeah, I've been doing a ton of both. Ricky Pearsall makes his way back to us. I think we just take him here. Man.
Yeah, I think so too. Maybe we'll get lucky enough to get a guy like Rico Dowdle on the way back. Also wouldn't hate McLaughlin there. What are your thoughts on this Broncos backfield? I know I've watched a couple of your streams. I know you've been taking a lot of Javonte, a lot of Estime, right?
And Jaleel. Yeah, I'm super into all of the Broncos guys. I think I was drafting a lot more Jaleel early on. I think that I have cooled off a little bit on the Jaleel just because I have my bags packed, and now I'm leaning more into Javonte and Estime. But yeah, I mean, I think Scott had his tweet about the Broncos backfield and how useful Sean Payton backfields have been for like 9 years in a row or something like that. Just like top 2 most of those years. Yeah. Hard not to fall in love with the cheap backfield being one of the best fantasy potential backfields out there.
Yeah, I think McLaughlin on DK is really, really nice if he ends up in that Sproles role. I mean, really all he needs is for Pirine to get cut because I don't see significant pass catching roles for Javonte or Estime.
I have to ask the important question now, Jake. What is your cat's name?
So my cat has a variety of names. Cats are pretty independent, so they don't really respond to what they're called.
That's true.
Okay. So you can kind of just call them whatever. But we primarily call him Lil Bebo.
Lil Bebo.
Yeah. So, but you can call him anything you want. He's got plenty of nicknames. So
I'll just call him Lil Bebo. I think that's pretty. What's the significance of Lil Bebo? Is there a big Bebo? I feel like that's implied.
No. So there's not a big Bebo. We just thought that was really cute. Obviously he's a cute little guy.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the guy. Yeah. So that was kind of the priority, and we also thought that was kind of funny. So
Jaleel went. We could take Tyler Algier, J.K. Dobbins, Cole Kmet, Jalen Wright, Luke Musgrave. Anybody you like here?
I think Algier would be my favorite. Yeah.
All right. I'm good with it. I like Algier.
Dobbins, how much does the injury history worry you with Dobbins?
Yeah, so I was inclined to buy back in on Dobbins, just like all of the he's going to be splitting carries. J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards listed as co-starters, and then my friend Justin Steele reminded me we were doing a draft, and he was like, Neil, look at a picture of his legs. One of them is twice the size of the other one, and then I was like, you make a good point. That does make me a little bit nervous. I think he's a fine pick if you can get him past like 150. He's been steamed up so much that's becoming rarer and rarer. I'm not trying to go out of my way to reach for J.K. Dobbins, but if he falls to us at 163 here, I would think about it. It's still not like a slam dunk for me, but I would think about it.
Yeah, the muscle mass thing really did scare me. That was the issue with Christian Watson. That's why he, allegedly was suffering so many hamstring injuries kind of over and over again. That is Anthony Rodriguez. I also saw a tweet suggesting that he walked off and was probably fine, but you never know with this guy. His bones are made out of baby food. His ligaments are made out of like soft bananas, like very overripe bananas. So it's tough with him. And
that's
Kamara
I had not seen that news. The last I saw was like he was down on the ground and he was surrounded by like teammates and trainers. I was like, oh shit. So I never actually saw the update there.
Yeah, Watson was rubbing his left hip. Seems to be something on his left leg that's banged up. He seems to be okay as practice ends.
Okay.
Handful of players were on a knee around Christian Watson at one point. So yeah, I think all the Packers players know that. They gotta keep that guy in bubble wrap, or else it's game over. But yeah, the muscle mass stuff I think is a legitimate concern, and especially when it's such a jarring size difference between his legs. That's certainly reason to be hesitant, but this is also going to be such a run heavy backfield. It's going to be such a juicy backfield for fantasy.
The Packers?
I was talking about Dobbins. The Chargers.
Sorry. I was reading chat about Christian Watson and just ignored you as I do frequently.
I was bouncing around,
tuning Jake out. I think I agree with you. I think it's going to be a valuable backfield. My biggest worry is like that they do get a Khalil Herbert or somebody. Like it's going to be a valuable backfield. That doesn't mean that the current running backs on their roster are going to be valuable. Is the concern? All right, we are on the clock. Hunter Henry, Noah Fant, Rashad Bateman, Jermaine Burton. I like a lot of these options. Anybody stand out to you?
Probably Fant would be my favorite. Did he get hurt?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. I think he's good. I might be thinking of someone else. Yeah. Do you have a strong preference here?
We took Fant already.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. I think he's a good pick. Oh, okay.
He did leave with a foot injury.
Yeah, that's funny. Might not have been anything. Okay. Oh, Noah Fant left with a foot injury? I missed that.
Yeah, he did. I was panic scrolling to try to find the tweet, and then I couldn't. So I was like, "Oh, okay, I must have imagined that," but that's not true. Well, Neil, I'm glad I could be on stream to tank your 100th team. It means a lot.
It's fine. He'll be fine. He needs to be fine because I have a lot of Noah Fant.
I mean, that's basically all of if you draft all year, all of August for you is just reading headlines and saying, "Oh, he'll be fine though. It's okay. Everything's okay."
Yeah.
That's the entire month.
Yep. Plenty of time between now and the NFL season.
That is very true. And these guys are tough. They can play through it all.
Yeah. Justin Fields at 169. How do you feel about Justin Fields right now?
I mean, how can you not love Justin Fields in an Arthur Smith offense? I'm already gearing up for week 1 DFS, where I let everybody know that last year, Desmond Ridder won more Millionaire Makers than Patrick Mahomes. Arthur Smith.
Damn.
Yes. Arthur Smith, quarterback whisperer. Okay. And yeah, Justin Fields, he's going to average 29 DK points per game. It's going to be incredible. George Pickens, 23 DK points per game. There will be no thrown helmets by George Pickens. He will not have any sort of episodes on the sideline. That will not happen.
Yeah, definitely not. Man, Ray Davis. That's interesting. They're suggesting. I love Ray Davis as a pick, but we have 2 by week 12 running backs already. That is the top suggestion here.
I think I like Herbert.
Oh, hell yeah. Ray Davis went, so we can just take our guy Herbert into it. I like estimate too. I mean, obviously this is an
interesting range for running back. Bucky Irving is a guy that I'm just not really clicking. I think to be, the running back that we want in a Todd Bowles offense, you're really going to have to be able to do it all. And I don't really believe in a 185-pound guy. I weigh 185 pounds. I don't think I could pass block an NFL linebacker.
You don't think so?
I mean, I could try, Neil. And if you gave me enough money, I'd do it. But I think it'd go pretty bad, man.
I weigh like 225. I'm pretty sure they would just knock me over, though. I think. You
sure? You don't think that extra mass would help you?
I don't think so. I think maybe like 10, 20 years ago, I might have had a better chance.
Mhm.
But I'm not blocking anybody in the NFL, regardless, even if
Mhm.
I were 25 or 20, 21.
Neil, you're
or
not. I
22.
mean, with an attitude like that, you're definitely not getting drafted.
You don't think so? You think
2025 draft is not going to go well for you, man.
I thought a coach might appreciate my humility in
Ooh,
acknowledging that I can't block anybody. They might
that's
say, you
good.
know
That's
what?
like
I'm glad he knows himself. We're gonna assign him to be a wide receiver. You know?
that's like Treylon Burks when he admitted to the Titans that he was like just kind of fat and out of shape for like
Yeah.
his time at Arkansas,
That's
and they
what
were
you
like,
want to
"Oh, we
hear.
love that about you."
Yeah, that's
Like, thanks
awesome,
for
man.
admitting that. First round pick.
Yeah. Are you nervous about Josh Downs at all? I did see this. Josh Downs expected to be out
Dude,
at least
I
6
love
weeks.
Josh Downs as a pick. That was so disappointing. It doesn't look like so. Edwin Porras, our site doctor, a really fantastic doctor of physical therapy, who works over at Fantasy Points. I believe he just dropped an injury-prone guide. If not, it's coming out shortly. Definitely check the site for that. But I believe he said that it looked like the risk of missed games is pretty low. Only about 20% of these injuries extend beyond 4 weeks. Here, I'm going to find the tweet so I don't misquote him. But it's only August 7th, so I think he should be okay for week 1. And we're not drafting these guys for week 1 anyway. So
No.
if it's he shows up in week 2 and is maybe a 40% snap share guy for a couple weeks and then gets going, that's still okay. But it's certainly concerning for a guy who was hurt and then came back and just didn't look like the same guy last year.
Yeah.
It's not great. And I've drafted a lot of Josh Downs, so that also, feels pretty bad.
Yeah, he has been my favorite Colts click, I think. So yeah,
Yeah.
don't love that.
Man, AR being QB4, I love how I smashed him at QB11, drafted 35% last year across 200.
He was so good when he played.
Oh my gosh, yeah, plays 2.5 games, is one of the best fantasy quarterbacks ever. Gets hurt, now he's QB4. You've got to be kidding me! I'm never cashing that in, man.
He's not really QB4, is he? We got
so.
Allen,
QB4, QB5,
Hurts, Mahomes, Lamar. Is that it? Maybe it's QB5.
QB5, yeah, behind Lamar.
Still, that's kind of nuts. All right, so
It is.
It's suggesting Troy Franklin as the bring back for our Joe Purdy stack.
I like Mims more. Isn't Franklin going ahead of Mims?
Yeah, where's Mims? Maybe he's gone. I think Mims is gone.
Okay, we can do Troy Franklin
or Luke McCaffrey. This year's Puka Nacua. Who do you like?
Ooh, I have a hard time passing on this year's Puka Nacua, Neil. Yeah, let's go Luke McCaffrey.
Boom.
When his brother, did you know? Christian.
The 49ers guy?
Believe it or not.
No. That can't be true.
So if they share a set of parents, why wouldn't they be the same in the NFL? Why wouldn't they both average 25 DK points?
I would believe that if they have a parent who has played in the NFL. Do they have any parents who have played in the NFL?
You're not going to believe this, man.
Blowing my mind over here.
Yeah, we got some real cool stuff on this show for Neil's 100th best ball draft. Thank you so much for having me, Neil. It's quite an honor that I could, go out with my girlfriend, have pizza and beer, and then just spontaneously get invited on one of the biggest fantasy football podcasts, probably of all time, right?
I mean, it has to be. I think that everybody has been waiting to see who is going to stream their 100th best ball mania draft first. All year, everybody's been waiting for this.
Well,
so
yeah, and who's going to be their guest? How many beers is the guest going to have prior to joining the show, or maybe on the show even?
These are the things people are looking for in their best ball streams.
Yeah, that's very true. I do think the worst pick to get if you're streaming is the pick we have right now, because it's difficult to hold a longer point when we're picking every minute and a half, 2 minutes, or whatever it is.
No, that is true. Let me see where we're at 2,572 because we have two correlated wide receiver picks being suggested here that I'm interested in, but maybe we need to go to a different position.
I'd be good with one more wide receiver. We're not
Yoshivas or let's make that pick first. Do you want Yoshivas or Jennings?
Give me Yoshivas. Jennings is contingent on the Ayuk trade, so I'd rather just take the more sure thing.
Yeah,
which I think is Andre.
I think I agree. I don't have a ton of Jennings. That would be the one point in favor of taking Jawan there, is that I've got a ton of Yoshivas in the big board pre-draft stuff.
Well, if the Ayuk trade happens, I think, Jennings is a great example of why you want to wait until later in the year to draft, a good chunk of your teams, is because he's going to be, probably 20 or 30% owned if Ayuk gets traded. That's pretty great in a huge tournament like this.
Yeah. Anthony's saying the dad did play in the NFL. Ed McCaffrey, NFL player as well.
Yep.
Do you think A-Rich has a legitimate chance of finishing QB1 if he stays healthy? I do. If he stays healthy, I think it's a very, very real chance.
Yeah, this is a great offense. He has great weapons. He's the greatest athlete to ever play the position. I don't see why QB1 wouldn't be right in his range of outcomes.
Bad secondary, so they should be in some shootouts too.
Also, I think the one futures position I've taken this year is Anthony Richardson to win MVP at 40-1.
Ooh.
I got a pretty good bit down. That's like 25-1. I've seen some 30s out there. I think that's a way better price than what you're paying in best ball or even redraft right now at like QB5, QB6. I have seen him go, right around where Lamar does. And that's pretty tough. But in MVP odds, he's like 13th. I've seen sites that list him and Christian McCaffrey, right next to each other, which is
funny,
insane, because we all know CMC has literally a 0% chance of winning the award
as a non-quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, if he had like 1,800 rushing yards and 1,000 receiving yards, maybe we could seriously talk about it. But yeah, I mean, I think Anthony Richardson could be a really strong MVP bet, especially if the Colts overperform. Because I think voters are a little sick.
They would need to. They would need to even consider.
Oh, well, yeah. Like if, the Chiefs win 13 games, the Ravens win 13 games, it's still pretty easy to say, oh, yeah, but, the Colts won 12, and that was pretty special what Anthony Richardson did.
Charles says, congrats, Neil. I assume he is congratulating me on being the first person to stream my 100th Best Ball Mania draft. Thank you, Charles. Appreciate you. Wiki, do y'all think Demarcus Robinson has a legitimate chance of finishing wide receiver 1 if he sees so? I gotta say, overall, I gotta give credit.
Right?
Winky Christ,
wide receiver 1.
Overall wide receiver 1. Actually, let's make our pick first, and then I'll give a shout out to Winky. One more run. Do we want Roshan, Kendre?
Oh man, can you scroll a little bit
On running backs here? I'll click over here. Oh shit, we are
running
out of time.
Roshan.
Did we get him? We got him. Okay.
Right,
sorry,
we got that Bears back
ran out of time. Winky Christ was the first person that I saw talking about DeMarcus Robinson. I had not been drafting DeMarcus Robinson prior to Winky saying, look, this guy crushed last year. And I looked at it, I was like, he's right. Why am I not drafting DeMarcus Robinson? He's going to be the wide receiver 3 for the Rams. Probably. I mean, nothing guaranteed, but he was very good in that role last year, put up some big games. Is a very solid late round pick, in my opinion.
Oh yeah. I love the D-Rob pick. I would assume, and I will certainly give Winky credit for being first here, but I would definitely assume that if you asked Scott Barrett, he would have said, oh, DeMarcus Robinson is a ridiculous value. Because he was definitely on D-Rob first during the regular season, where D-Rob had like one good game, and then Scott was like, I'm all in. I'm playing this guy every week in DFS.
Scott also won $25,000 with DeMarcus Robinson last year.
That's right. Yeah, his famous Costco trip. He spent 3 hours in Costco with his girlfriend. He emerged from Costco, finally looked at his phone, and went, "Oh, I won $20,000."
I don't think I heard that story.
Yeah,
maybe I did.
Yeah, I think that's apparently he had never been to Costco before, which was kind of mind blowing, and he didn't know that it's like a huge box store where if you go on a Sunday, like he obviously did. You're going to be there for like half the day.
Big mistake, Scott.
Yeah, huge mistake.
I have loved all of Scott's tweets about getting married. I realized that I made a post about his tweet being the most Scott Barrett thing ever, but you had done the same thing previously. I realized after I posted, I'm just copying Jake here, but I kept it anyway because you had posted about Scott had done something similar where he was like, and my draft guy's coming out and this and this. By the way, I got married, and like just like throws it in there in part of
Well, I've viewed it as more of like an apology where he was like, oh yeah, sorry that I haven't written as much as a normal off season. I got married. Yeah, and it's like, what are you like? Why are you apologizing? What a sicko.
Yeah,
Um,
he is the sickest man I know.
Yeah, but no, it certainly warms the heart to see the sickest guy meet the love of his life and successfully get married to her, no less.
Yeah.
Big problem for sickos like Scott. Spend so much time writing, so much time bringing you, the best DFS advice, the best ball advice you could imagine. Finding love is a bit of a challenge when you're
It
dumping
is.
your heart and soul into giving people every edge that they can possibly find on player takes.
Do you think Scott's going to start giving advice on finding love? Is that going to be his
Oh,
next thing?
that
Maybe?
well, you certainly wouldn't want to take advice on finding love from someone who hasn't found the love of their life and married
Sure.
them.
Yeah,
So he would be pretty qualified, I guess, in my eyes.
I would think so. I
Um,
mean, I'm also, I found the love of my life and got married too. So yeah, I don't need the advice, but I would recommend him.
yeah, I'm actually a good fantasy analyst, so I've never talked to a woman, but
Yeah, as
yeah,
you
I
should
think
be.
I think you guys are pretty qualified to give out romantic advice.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Of course.
All right, here's the team. We finished with this. This is my 100th Best Ball Mania stream draft. Thank you, Jake, for joining me for it. We end up with Joe Burrow and Brock Purdy at quarterback. At running back, Devin Achane, Chase Brown, Zach Charbonnet, Tyler Algier, Khalil Herbert, Roshan Johnson. Wide receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown, DJ Moore, T. Higgins, Rashi Rice, Jamison Williams, Ricky Pearsall, Luke McCaffrey, Andre Yochevich. And at tight end, George Kittle and Noah Fant. So we've got Burrow with T. Higgins and Andre Yochevich. Do we have any bring back from Denver? No, the tool was recommended. We didn't end up with any bring back there. And we've got Purdy double up with George Kittle and Ricky Pearsall. We also have J-Mo and Amon-Ra St. Brown, Detroit bringbacks. This is a lovely team. I like this team. What do you think? What do you think, Jake? We also have Chase Brown there.
Yeah, no, I think this is a pretty strong team. You generally agree to give your guests 100% of prize winnings, right? Especially for like a monumental team like the 100th.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Okay.
I wait, sorry. How much are you saying I'm going to give you?
100%.
Oh yeah, no, that's not going to happen. I will,
Oh,
however, give you 50%. I will give you 50% equity in the team.
All right. That's a pretty reasonable deal. I wanted to reach for the stars a little bit.
No, that's good negotiating tactics right there. You reach for 100, and then I come back with exactly the amount that I'm going to give you, and there's no giving it. That's great negotiation on both of our parts, I think.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm just in a tougher position because the money would be in your account, and
Yeah.
it's a long drive for me to get to the Twin Cities.
I have all the
like
leverage
strong
here.
arm you know, and it sounds like you're a bigger guy than me. So
you're only 185 from what I hear.
Yeah, this is actually like a huge problem for me. I really
Yeah.
shouldn't have drafted with someone so much like larger and stronger.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily stronger, but definitely larger. So yeah, no, that's well negotiated, Jake. 50-50 on this team. I feel good about the team. And I'd love to read this off because this is great to hear. Astrobank says, pretty sure Overzet screwed up his opportunity for glory today on Swolecast. I think he entered the draft too early and had to draft it off stream while doing number 101 on stream. Tough scene. Congrats. So Pete squandered his opportunity to stream his 100th Best Ball Mania draft. Well, I just did it for you right here on this stream.
Wow. I mean, this is shocking. This is one of the crazier things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
On the internet. I mean, this is wow.
The Olympics are going on right now, but if you want a real accomplishment, you come to the Flannelverse and watch me draft my 100th Best Ball Mania team on the stream. Jake, it was really fun to have you on for a draft. This is just a 2 draft night for us. All right, Mr. wants a review. Let's keep it rolling just a minute to give Mr. a review of that one hole while we're having fun here. Let's see. Mr. goes Justin Herbert, Matthew Stafford, Justin Fields at quarterback. At running back, Christian McCaffrey, James Conner, Gus Edwards, Antonio Gibson, Deneric Prince. At wide receiver, Cooper Kupp, Devontae Smith, George Pickens, Christian Watson, DeAndre Hopkins, Josh Palmer, Pop Douglas, Greg Dortch at tight end, Mark Andrews, and Colby Parkinson. So he's got Justin Herbert with Gus Edwards, Josh
I love
Palmer.
These wide receivers. That's my strongest take about this team.
Pop Douglas, bring back.
Yeah, I'm a big Dortch guy, big Palmer guy. Obviously, Christian Watson, he's probably going to pull a hammy and play, a game and a half this year. But if he doesn't,
look at the Dipsy bot here with Pickens at 48, 8 picks past ADP, Watson at 72, slightly past ADP, and DeAndre Hopkins at 96. He just bought all the dips at wide receiver.
Well, and there's just something about Pickens plus Fields that just screams 85 points in week 17
Could
and
happen.
like pull your hair out the rest of the season, you know?
Yep. True. Uh, Stafford got the James Conner bring back with Cup. Yeah, no, this is and Parkinson, very nice. Dortch bring back, very nice, very well correlated team across the board as far as I can tell. Does he have any Kansas City? Doesn't he's got 2 game stacks there. No Kansas City bring back for the Pittsburgh, but yeah, I think that is a very strong team. Well done there, Mister. Um, okay, Anthony wants to know his dynasty team. This is are you a dynasty guy, Jake?
Oh man, no. I am not a dynasty guy. Anthony, over at Fantasy Points, I promise you, we have some of the best dynasty sickos. Thomas Tipple, 60 dynasty teams.
Oh, Prince, that's right. He has Daenerys Prince. Yeah, talk to Thomas. Get into the Fantasy Points Discord, which I think you can get in with basically anything you buy at Fantasy Points.
Yeah,
In the Discord, I
so
think. I'm not sure if that's true.
a free account will get you in.
Oh, really? Okay.
A good chunk of the what are they called? Chat rooms, whatever channels
Yep.
are paywalled, but some of them are free from some of the
Anthony wants to know
main
how
stuff.
to get there. Now, how can I invite somebody to the Fantasy Points Discord? Or do you know how, Jake?
Yeah, so over at fantasypoints.com, I believe you need to have an account.
Yeah.
For the invite link to pop up for you. So I can do this over here on stream. Oh yeah, so over on the media drop-down menu, Discord chat would be the first link there. And then, it tells you how to set up your account and hop in the Discord server. Over at fantasypoints.com under the media tab.
Yeah, go check that out if you're not already in there. It was pretty active during the UFL season. Honestly, to be honest, I've not been in there as much recently. During the NFL season, I've been in my own Discord, in some other private Discords. It was very active though during UFL season, which like there wasn't that many people playing UFL, and it was still a very active, fun Discord. So I can't imagine for NFL.
It was a great place to tilt, man.
It was.
Plus, we had BP coming in there, letting us know every week that he had lost until the championship game when he finished like 1st through 10th.
As he will.
Yeah, just classic BP.
Just wins everything.
But yeah, it's a great place to hang out. I would definitely check it out. That's where I'll be during the season. I'll be talking a little best ball in there through August, and then I'll have them make. I don't think we have a battle royale channel, but I'll have them make one, and I'll obviously be in our NFL DFS chat. We've got a lot of great analysts over there. Scott spends a ton of time in there. The great Johnny Proctor, who
it's a good
you know from our UFL championship show.
Oh yeah,
we got Darren in there who's a DFS pro, does really good stuff. Just a ton of great people in there, and it's just a fun place to tilt, which realistically is what we're going to spend most of our time doing in any
large field tournaments. Most of us are going to be tilting. Yeah. No, it's a fun crew. Very, very sharp crew over at Fantasy Points. Definitely recommend getting in there if you're not already. Jake, this was fun. I really appreciate you coming on for my 100th Best Ball Mania draft. We talked a little bit about what you have coming up during the NFL season. Anything sooner than that, and where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me over at Twitter at Jake Tribby. And then you can find all my work over at Fantasy Points. Next article I'm working on. So I'm helping out with, I don't know if I'm allowed to say the exact word. We have a new stack coming out that's actually super, super cool. I'm not.
You can say the word on this stream if that's your concern.
Oh, no. Well,
okay.
I know it's ass. I don't know if I can say what ass actually.
Oh, okay.
Means.
Okay.
But I'm not just saying this because I work for Fantasy Points. If I thought this stat was lame, I just kind of wouldn't mention it on this show. This stat is really cool. I've seen the data. It's intuitively, you will look at, the numbers and say like, oh, wow, this makes a lot of sense. This has a ton of potential. I'm helping out with some of the content revolving around Ass will sort of have like an introductory article, and then we'll have a fantasy takeaways article is what I believe the plan will be with that. Those are probably at least a week or two away. And then I'm also working on a piece for positional target tendencies, which is, an article that I've written in the past, just what positions do quarterbacks target the most often and how can we apply those tendencies to 2024 fantasy football. So I know that's an article that a lot of people tend to really like, and there can be some interesting takeaways there. So hopefully that'll be out next week. I wrote the intro and that's it. So it's hard for me to give an exact estimation on an article I really haven't fully dove into yet. But yeah, that'll all be over at fantasypoints.com. What about you, Neil? What do you have coming up?
Yeah, I have. I think I'm taking tomorrow off after getting through number 100. I'm gonna do a marathon stream on Friday. Which, Jake, if you feel like coming back, actually, it's not gonna be a long marathon stream. Now that I think of it, because I do have we're doing a going away party for my nephew going off to college Friday
No
night.
way.
It'll actually be a shorter stream, but 3 or 4 hours probably. And then I'm going to be doing a marathon stream on Sunday for sure. Going to go probably 6 to 8 hours on Sunday.
Whoa.
A lot of streaming coming up before I go on vacation next week. I got to get a lot of these BBMs done before I leave. So that is the short-term plan. Jake, is your article going to be paywall, the one that you're working on right now?
Pretty much everything that I do in the off season, and the vast majority of like a lot of our flagship off season pieces are free.
Okay.
So we, obviously we do paywall some stuff for premium subscribers. I believe like Scott Barrett's draft plan is coming out. I'm fairly positive
coming out Thursday.
Yeah, that'll be paywalled.
Yeah.
And I'll give a little bit of alpha for everyone. If you want to know who everybody's my guys are going to be 2 weeks before they tweet them out, you just read Scott Barrett's article. That's what everybody does.
Yeah.
And then you just, you keep those players in mind when everybody says my guy for 2024 is, and then it's always one of like Scott's 4 or 5 favorite players.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a really great article to read. Something like that'll be paywalled, but a lot of our like, kind of major research pieces are free. Positional target tendency should be free. Ryan Heath is updating his age curves piece that did really well last year. He's got some new data and some interesting stats for potentially predicting fall offs. So that's something he was just DMing me about, how that article is kind of driving him insane, which is generally a good sign for it being a pretty strong piece.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep an eye out for that. We've got a lot of good content coming out at Fantasy Points, and especially with this being the final month of the season, we're all trying to kind of cram in a few last second articles to bring you guys the best stuff. So yeah, and Neil, I will be around on Friday or Sunday.
Okay. Yeah, I will. I was going to say I would love to have you on for one of those streams. I was trying to think if I have people for Friday already. I don't think I do. I think I have somebody for Sunday who is flexible. So yeah, I'll be in touch about having you on one of those streams at least. Appreciate that. Yeah. So as Jake said, some great free articles at Fantasy Points. Go check those out. Fantasypoints.com. You can find some of that content, of course, on Jake's Twitter, which is it's just at Jake Trivia, right?
Yeah, at Jake Trivia. I made a huge mistake. I just put my name here instead of my @ but my @ is just remove the space in between, the 2 words that make up my name, and then add like the little @ symbol before that. And pretty you got you got my name. So there you have it, man.
And for anything that is paywalled, if you want to get 15% off, promo code Orfield24, you can get 15% off whatever package you want at Fantasy Points. A lot of great stuff behind the paywall as well, including of course the data suite, which Jake and I both absolutely love the data suite. So check that out if you haven't. Yeah, Anthony, loving seeing Jake on stream. Yeah, Jake is always informative. So looking forward to having him back soon on this channel, either Friday or Sunday. We'll be back.
I'm very grateful that Anthony found me informative. I was worried this was going to be a pretty rough first impression for the Flannelverse crew, given my beer intake. But I think I managed to hold my own, and I'm excited for hopefully another invite. Obviously, Neil's being very nice to me on stream now, but we'll see when the rubber hits the road. Will Neil actually send me an invite via Twitter?
Yeah, you never know. You never know. Behind the scenes, I'm gonna
exactly. There's there's a lot of snakes out there in the fantasy football streaming world that they want to get you on, and then last second it's like, oh no,
nah,
I'm just kidding. That's actually,
if you do one more 0 RB tweet, Jake,
Oh
making
my
fun of
gosh.
zero RB bros. It's not going to happen.
The
Then you're
zero
right.
RB tweet was really funny. I
was
thought
funny.
when I tweeted that out that like only a couple people would not get the joke, but like no one thought that was a joke.
I didn't get the
Everyone,
joke at all. I was like, what does this mean, Jake? This is not how you tweet normally. I was so confused.
Yeah, that's just like kind of a copy pasta. Originally, someone wrote it about ayahuasca.
I saw that.
Uh,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So then I just kind of like adjusted it for zero RB. My only regret was not saving it for like August 29th when I think it could have like just gone insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was jarring. I watched the movie with my girlfriend and I came back to just complete chaos in my notifications.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Jake will be back hopefully on Friday. I think Friday I might just have an opening to have you back right then. Otherwise, on Sunday, if I already have guests filled up that I forgot about, so I will have Jake back on the channel soon. Thank you, Jake, for coming on. Thank you all for hanging out with us again. I'm trying to get to 2,000 subscribers by the NFL season. I think this is actually a little bit outdated. I think I'm up to 1860. But if you haven't already subscribed, I would appreciate the subscription. Trying to get to 2,000. Like the video, comment under it. It's all very helpful. Really appreciate you all for hanging out, supporting us. I will catch you on Friday.